He still remembered the sound, not the judge's voice, not the gavel, not even the gas from the courtroom. It was the quiet, the kind of quiet that crushes your chest when you realize your life is over. Marcus Reed was 24 years old when they called him a murderer, a mechanic, a quiet one, the type who kept his head down, worked late, and sent money home to his mother every month. The night everything changed, he wasn't hiding a weapon. He was fixing a car, grease on his hands, music playing softly in the background. A normal night, until police sirens tore through it. Minutes later, they were dragging him out. Marcus Reed, you are under arrest for the murder of Daniel Harper. He laughed at first, because it had to be a mistake. It had to be. Daniel Harper was dead, shot twice in his own apartment. No witnesses, no weapon found. Just one thing, a blurry security camera clip from across the street. And in that clip, a man wearing a hoodie. Same height, same build. And according to the prosecution, that man was Marcus. That was it. No fingerprints, no DNA, no motive, just a blurry video, and a system that needed someone to blame. I didn't do this. Marcus shouted during the trial, but no one was listening. The jury looked at the footage. The prosecutor told a convincing story. And Marcus? He didn't have money for a powerful lawyer. He didn't have connections. He didn't have a chance. Guilty. One word. That's all it took to erase a life. 20 years. 20 years behind cold bars. For a crime he didn't commit. At first, Marcus fought. Appeals. Letters. Motions. Every single one denied. Eventually, the world outside forgot him. But Marcus never forgot the truth. Every night, he repeated the same words to himself. I'm innocent. Not for hope, but to survive. Prison changes a man. It hardens some, breaks others. Marcus became quiet, observant. He learned to read people, learned to stay invisible. But deep inside, something kept burning. A question. If I didn't do it, who did? Years passed. 5, 10, 15. New inmates came and went. Stories were traded like currency. And then one day, Marcus heard something that made his blood run cold. 2 inmates were talking, laughing. One of them said, "Man, you remember that Harper job? Dude never saw it coming." Marcus froze. His heart slammed against his ribs. He turned slowly. The man speaking was older, hardened, the kind of face you don't forget. "Yeah," the other guy chuckled. "And they pinned it on that mechanic dude, right? What was his name?" "Reed," the man said. "Marcus Reed." That night, Marcus didn't sleep, because for the first time in 15 years, he wasn't alone with the truth anymore. The man's name was Victor Hale, a repeat offender, armed robbery, assault, and rumors of worse. Marcus started watching him, listening, waiting. Weeks turned into months. Then one day, Victor got careless, boasting, talking too much, and Marcus finally heard it, a full confession. Details no one else could know. How he broke into Harper's apartment, how the argument turned violent, how the gun went off. Twice, Marcus recorded it, not with a phone, but with something even more powerful. Memory. Every word burned into his mind. But knowing the truth and proving it were 2 different things. Marcus needed help, and help came from the most unexpected place. A new inmate, Ethan Cole, young, smart, and different. Ethan wasn't like the others. He listened, really listened. When Marcus told his story, Ethan didn't laugh. He didn't dismiss it. Instead, he said something no one had said in 20 years. "I believe you." Ethan had connections on the outside, a sister, a journalist, and that changed everything. At first, it was just a small article online. Man claims innocence after 20 years in prison. It barely got attention. But then Ethan's sister dug deeper. She found inconsistencies, missing evidence, ignored leads, and that blurry security footage, she enhanced it, frame by frame, and what she found didn't match Marcus. The story started spreading, slowly at first, then faster. Shares, comments, outrage. People began asking questions. Why was there no DNA? Why was the footage so unreliable? Why was the investigation rushed? And then it went viral. Millions of people saw Marcus's face. A man who had spent 2 decades behind bars for something he didn't do. The pressure mounted. Authorities couldn't ignore it anymore. The case was reopened. Victor Hale was brought in for questioning. At first, he denied everything. But when confronted with the inconsistencies, when the evidence started closing in, he broke. I did it. 3 words. The truth finally spoken. Marcus Reed was exonerated. 20 years. Gone. Stolen. But finally, justice. The day he walked out of prison, the sky looked different. Brighter. Wider. Free. Reporters surrounded him. Cameras flashing. Microphones pushing his face. How do you feel? Marcus paused, took a deep breath, and said something no one expected. I'm not angry. The crowd went silent. I lost 20 years, he continued, but I didn't lose who I am. Victor Hale was sentenced. The system corrected itself. Too late. But for Marcus, it was a new beginning. Or so it seemed. Because just weeks after his release, Marcus received a letter. No return address. No name. Just a single sentence inside. You were never supposed to find out the truth. Marcus stared at it, his hands trembling, because suddenly, this didn't feel over. Not even close. Who sent the letter? What did they mean? And was Victor Hale really the only one involved? Some stories don't end with justice. Some stories are just beginning. Backhand index pointing down. What do you think really happened? Was Victor Hale acting alone, or is there something bigger still hidden? Drop your theories in the comments.